Welcome back to another episode of Life Beyond the Workout. And I'm your host, Chie, Figure Prodigy Terui, again from Underdogs on Top Studio. And today we have a very special guest join us. Her name is Dr. Charlette Robinson. Actually, she is a DNP, APNP, FNP. She is an incredible nurse practitioner, and she also one of my clients. And I know she has such a busy day, but thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we are always talking about, for us, this life beyond the workout, actually how fitness plays a role on not only her profession, but for her personal life. And we wanted to ask a couple of questions and we can share her experience. Well, first, I would like to introduce the Charlette, and actually, she can introduce herself. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Charlette Robinson. I'm currently a member with Fitness Prodigy Ratio 1-to-1. Chie is my trainer. Mr. Earl as well, thank you for having me. I can give you a little background about me and what brought me here.
Yes.
I started training in the year 2002, and the trainer that I had at that time, of course, weight training and nutrition, but the relationship ended in the year 2019. So this was a 17-year relationship. And it wasn't until the relationship ended that I realized that I was actually enabled the entire time. This individual did not teach me how to exercise. They actually performed every exercise with me. As far as my nutrition, they did not teach me how to prepare meals for myself. They actually cooked all of my meals, which pretty much left me at their mercy. And now that I'm older and realize, looking back, I believe that was the goal, so that if the relationship does end, you're not able to succeed. So from the year 2019, when the relationship ended, it was really difficult for me to find a trainer, and I learned that there are a lot of people out here that will say they will train you to take your money, and then that's as far as it goes. They take your money. My body was used to eating this person's food for 17 years, so anything that I ate, I would gain weight, and I never learned how to cook for myself. So any meal plan that was deemed to be healthy, I would try it, but again, I would gain weight. Not knowing what was in the meal, just trusting them and believing that whatever the nutritional content was on the packaging, that it was true. So after going through multiple personal trainers, I just had figured out that I would never weight train again. And this is how discouraged I was. So I started just performing aerobics. And I met a young lady who was very kind, and I explained to her what my history was, and she found Chie for me. Oh. So when I went to Chie, I shared some of my history with her, and right away she said, well, we want you to be able to work out. If we're not here, we want to teach you how to work out. We want to teach you how to cook your meals and prepare your food. We want you to be able to depend on yourself and not on others. And that really hit home for me because I had came from an environment that I did depend on someone else for so many years and did not realize how enabled I was until that relationship ended. I had shared with her, I have not gone to the grocery store in years. I don't know where to begin. So she taught me, how to cook, how to select foods, nutritional values, what would really work for my body, in addition to working out. Although I know that I will forever need a trainer, but she would say to me and still say to me, well, if we're not here, you need to be able to work out. So I've taken vacations and I've been able to implement the exercises that she's taught me. And I'm just really happy. So I shared my story to say that I am in a good place, whereas not only are you going to get great training, you're going to get two individuals that truly care about you. Not only do they care about your progress, they are concerned about your education. They want you to learn how to implement correct foods for your body. They want you to learn how to work out. They want you to be able to take the exercises that they teach you and then incorporate that into your activities of daily living. Meaning that, if we're working an exercise for our back, it isn't just to sculpt the back out. It's to, when you're at work, if you stand a lot, if you're lifting patients, if you're moving patients, whatever it is that you may do, being able to develop these life skills that is going to carry you outside of the gym. And I'm very grateful for that.
Experience that I kind of see within my clients, as far as like, they go to different fitness club or fitness program, and what they do is, okay, eat this, eat that, or do this, do that. They never explain to clients that what they're supposed to do, right? So what happened after they finish their program, they just don't have no idea. So what happened is that it's the maintaining part is going to be harder. And I see, if you are working out with, the certain program for 18 years long, that's a long time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So what happened is that, within that 18 years, of course, you should see the results, but also you should be learning something the way you can be able to maintain if, you are outside a club, you know what I mean? So I think is really, yeah, so many people are actually experiencing, and I can see that within my clients too. Yeah. So, but the Charlette is actually emergency room. She's working at the emergency room for how many years?
26.
26 years. And you know how busy it can be in the emergency room. So how far as like you were talking about, nutrition as far as like how to eat, right? But because we discuss a lot of time, the timing of the how you should be eating meals or what type of food you should be eating, how you manage that within that really busy schedule.
Right. Thank you for that. Really good question. I find myself bringing in lots of food when I work. I work 12-hour shifts. I do a lot of meal prepping now.
Right.
Everything is measured out. Of course, I have my Tupperware containers, so I may have a Tupperware container with 4 ounces of ground turkey, and then I may have a serving of fruit, and then I may have a salad. But just so many items inside of my bag that I know is going to allow me to get the nutrition that I need within my 12-hour shift. Sometimes, being realistic, I cannot sit down at a table and eat, right?
Yes.
It's just that busy. So I'll have foods that I can consume, finger foods that are still, delicious
Right.
and have the nutritional content that I need for my goals. So it's just key is meal prepping and having the foods available. So when you are needing to eat, those foods are there, and you're not going to the vending machine or in the emergency room. Your coworkers order out all the time.
Right.
So you're making sure that you have what you need, so you don't need to order out with them, and you can still stick with the meals that your body needs. So preparing your meals is key.
Wow. So, see, meal prep is really important. You know what I mean? And especially like busy schedule as she is, those are really important because one thing she has actually goal that she share with me, and we really working hard every time she come, which is she would like to do the competition one day. So that is, of course, I told her, if you don't cook your own meal, I am not going to, train you for the competition. And she actually started doing it. And that's a really commitment. And like I said, with the busy schedule and do what you do, you cannot miss it. And meal prep a must, you know what I mean? So anything else you can forget, but not the food. And then I'm the same way at my work, because I've been on my feet for, 12 hours or at work training clients, and it's so important for me to consume the food, especially if you try to gain muscle. That's my challenges as well. And another thing is because the hospital, especially emergency room, so many critical care is needed, right? I mean, from the car accident to maybe they just a stomach ache too, but it's not so much happy place far as like you have to always care those patients. How's as far as like mentally, the challenge within your job, but the fitness actually now, what is the give you in a more so like positive side of it?
Oh, wow. Great question. When you incorporate both exercising, fitness, and also working, especially with the type of job that I do, as Chie is stating, it requires lots of hours. I'm a nurse practitioner. So it isn't physical for me. It's all mental. I'm thinking about the treatment plan, what medications to prescribe, looking at a patient, listening to their history. Some patients are not the best historians, so helping them, solve that puzzle so that I can give the best treatment plan to them. With exercising, it helps to relax your body. You're able to sleep better. It helps to allow you to gather your thoughts, and it just puts you in a better mood when you incorporate both together. I can also say that exercising, we all know it can be very challenging, right? And I love to look at myself, especially when I'm thinking about goals or just, activities of daily living. If I can go to the gym and work out and give it my all, if I have the dedication and I have the determination for that, I can apply that dedication and determination to all aspects of my life. And this is what I really like about going to the gym, because it teaches you self-control. It teaches you confidence. It teaches you to be patient, right? If you're looking at your body and you want your body to transform, it's not going to happen overnight. Same thing when I'm with patients. I may take care of a patient or meet a patient and I'm thinking that maybe it's this, and then it turns out to be something else. But just being patient and trusting the process as far as the treatment plan that I'm ordering, it helps. And I always look at that as the same as working out.
Yeah.
And they work hand in hand. And it's funny because me and Chie, we talk all the time, and I'll point out things on my body, and it's like, well, how long is it gonna, take me to get there? And it's like, well, you'll know when you get there.
Right.
So that is so true. And just I like that, just being patient and trusting the process. And if you can be patient and trust the process in the gym, you can apply that to all areas of your life.
How about you? Do you cooperate further to care for your patient? Like you talk to your patient about what what you went from the experience, what you went through. Like you can incorporate that to the some people.
Oh, most definitely. Of course, you may have patients that come in and they may have back issues, and you can help them with that, strengthening their back with exercises that you've learned. Patients that may be suffering from, obesity or morbid obesity. Now, I can tell them about foods, to eat.
Because you practice what you're
because
preaching.
I'm practicing,
Exactly.
right. What I'm preaching. Whereas in the past, I know about nutrition from learning it in a book, but actually incorporating it myself. I can be honest, I wasn't doing that. I had someone that was cooking all of my food for me all of the time, seasoning it. I paid for it. They gave me a bag of food and I ate the food.
Right.
But now I know about protein and the importance of weighing your food and measuring your food and even what to season the food with.
Right.
I've learned all that, so I can share that patients that have high blood pressure and they're looking to change their diet, or patients with congestive heart failure, I'm able to give different food choices that will help out and be beneficial. And I'm not just saying something, these are things that I'm actually implementing into my life. So it feels really good.
I remember, she had a one-time body analysis, and I'm telling you, she works hard. She comes to the gym 3-4 times a week. Okay. And when we did analysis, and she gained weight, right? And then so I'm like, wait a minute. She works so hard all the time, and I'm listening what she eat. I always ask to my clients, what did you eat? Okay, that's my thing. And as I'm listening to her, everything what she's eating is what I told her to eat. And I'm like, no, it's something is not right. And I was just asking her, okay, what are you having at work? What are you eating? What are you drinking? And guess what? Tell her.
Right. So we had the body analysis and I gained weight. And Chie had a puzzled look on her face. She's like, all this cardio you're doing, you're coming in, you're doing all the right things. What is your diet consisting of?
Right.
And I said, exactly what you're telling me to eat. So I started naming out everything that I ate. And then she said, well, I know you like to snack on sunflower seeds. Are you having those every night? I said, no, just a handful on Saturday. And she said, something isn't right. And she had a puzzled look on her face. And then after about 5 minutes, I said, oh, and I've been drinking Gatorade. And then she turned slowly and looked at me. And she said, which Gatorade?
Right.
Gatorade Zero? I said, oh, no, the regular one. And she said, what size? And I said, oh, the large bottle, because when I'm at work, sometimes I need energy. And she said, oh, my God, you need to stop drinking the Gatorade. So I stopped drinking the Gatorade. And then we did another body analysis.
A week later, and she lost the 5 pounds.
Right.
See, that's the thing. It is that, she never really thought about that. You know what I mean? Far as like, okay, it's a Gatorade. It's so healthy for you. You know what I mean? But that's why I say always read the nutrition fact. Everything going in your mouth, you should know what you take in, at the moment. Because now, the regular Gatorade, 8 ounce, is a 15-gram sugar. And she had a large bottle, so that was a 32 ounces, I think, right? And so you got to multiply it by 4. You know what I mean? So that's a 45-gram sugar. And she's consuming, and she said, yeah, sometimes I do that 2 bottles a day.
Yes, I was chugging 2 bottles a day.
So that simple thing that we actually go through, that's why it's a really body analysis is really important. It's not a judgment day. It's more so see what we're doing is right or we need to maybe adjust something, So I think that was a really good experience for her. And also me make sure, the clients is following and, doing correct, not just, eat everything what she has said, but then
Right.
If you don't recognize those things, it can be, even though I told her drink a Gatorade, for the electrolytes, but I had to specifically tell her Gatorade Zero. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And what I found to be so impressive is that when we did the body analysis, when she asked, well, what are you eating? And I told her everything you're telling me to, she knew something isn't right.
Still not right.
There is
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
Which made me think harder because, mind you, I am thinking, okay, it's Gatorade. Gatorade
Right.
is healthy for you.
Right.
So the Gatorade is no problem. It's like eating lettuce, right? So because she had this puzzled look on her face, it made me think harder. And I said, oh, as a matter of fact, I am drinking Gatorade. So
Yeah.
And that was so impressive because she knew with all the work you're doing in the gym, you should not have gained weight.
Yeah.
So that was that was really impressive.
So what is the hardest actually challenging for you right now? Like far as going through your fitness journey?
The hardest, of course, you want everything to happen overnight, right? You want to work out Monday and Tuesday. Woo, I could walk down the street in a bikini, right? But that isn't going to happen. So I wouldn't say that it's really hard. It's just being patient and just knowing my body will respond once it responds. And as long as I'm doing everything that I'm taught to do, then it will respond. So I know the response will come.
Right. How about, well, you probably heard that those are, the weight loss shots.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that first?
Oh, I'm totally against weight loss shots. As a matter of fact, this is a true story that just happened a week ago with someone that I know that was taking Ozempic,
Mm-hmm.
and they had surgery last week because they developed lesions, and these lesions needed to be removed. I'm against them. You will lose the weight quickly, but of course there are side effects.
And you don't know how side effect to each individually, how they
It's
affect.
different,
Right.
correct. But one thing that everyone does have in common is the excessive skin that is going to show with drastic weight loss.
Right.
And most people, when they lose weight, you want to lose weight so you can uncover it and
Right.
not cover.
Right.
And there's a lot of excessive skin that hangs from that. And then you find yourself now needing surgical procedures to remove the skin. Now you have scars, so you're looking for another procedure to remove the scar.
Right.
And it's just building blocks of things that are so unnecessary.
Right.
So I'm totally against it. And I have, prescription authorities where I can prescribe weight loss,
Right.
shots, medications, pills, you name it.
Right.
And I don't do it at all.
I think many people get on the scale every day. You know what I mean? How much you lost or whatever, right? But you wanted to lose, fastest. So let's do this and let's do that. And then what happened, just like she was saying, ended up you smaller, you are lighter on the weight scale, but not necessarily looks better.
Right.
Right. But then there also these medication has side effect of losing a muscle, like a 50% on muscle. Like I think they were saying that, they lose and as a side effect. So what happened is that you will try to build muscle as you work out, so muscle can protect your nerve and bone in the joint. But now you're doing the opposite thing. So people that taken need to do more weight training and watch what they eat, because once they stop the dose of shots, you probably gain weight back.
You gain the weight back.
Right. Because they never fix the core issues.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So I noticed that every year, like me and Earl always talk about this, every year it's after these Thanksgiving, watch the TV. They always come with the different things, either like a little exercise machine or some type of pills. And it's, as long as we in the fitness industry, it's never changed. It's like an old blueprint, So, but we always try to encourage our clients and whoever we can reach out to, better to actually eat healthy and be consistent about your exercising. And actually, you will see the better results that you can sustain a long period of time. You know what I mean? So, because you're learning. And now you are learning a discipline and you're learning about consistency. And those are actually affect to lifetime. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes I go to hospital, those are nurses and doctors. They somewhat, the unhealthy.
Right.
Kind of, overweight too. I can see that. But I'm sure there's a lot of stress too. But just like I always feel that personal trainers should be in shape, right? Because we have to practice what we preach. So if you are in the, medical fields, healthcare, you talking to the patient and they going through, obesity to the high blood pressure, diabetic, you cannot have the same issue to telling them, okay, do this, do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
Right.
you know what? So many patients are bold. I mean, you will go in and attempt to have a discussion with them about being overweight and how it's going to help with their blood pressure. And they will say, well, you're overweight.
Right.
They will say it. They will
Right.
point it out.
Right.
I can't listen because you're overweight.
Right.
Right. So you want to practice what you preach. And then another thing that I really like about exercising too, like a lot of people will look at the component of muscles, but it's great for your skin,
Yes.
your teeth, your hair, sleeping, confidence. I mean, there are so many benefits other than I have a six pack.
Yes.
Or look at my biceps.
Yeah.
Just so many different benefits when you're working out and you're working out the correct way.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So now 2026 is coming. And
Yes.
what is your first goal that you would like to accomplish?
So my very first goal for the year 2026 is I would love to do a bodybuilding competition. Going back to years ago, I was 2 weeks away from a bodybuilding competition, and it did not end good, and I walked away from that gym. So here I am again. So dreams
Okay.
come true, you
Right.
know. That is my goal for it, but I have so many other goals. So my very first goal is my bodybuilding competition, and then I want to do body art painting on my body when you have your entire
Okay.
body painted. So I want to do that every month in the year 2026 and every year thereafter.
Mhm.
And then I also want to participate in volunteering to show my muscles for medical schools when they're learning anatomy. So those are things for 2026 that I want to do consistently
Okay,
for the
that's
rest of my
interesting.
life.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I never heard that one. That's a really interesting. Okay. So you know, as of what we're going through with this podcast, Life Beyond the Workout is, you know, person like her, and we share that experience, you know, outside of, I mean, how the fitness affect to outside of the gym, you know, the wall. So it's really, you know, the inspiring, and also that this is a real talk, you know what I mean? And then what we bring it as guests, and they have their special profession. And I always interested in how what we do as a personal trainer and fitness can affect to their lifestyle or their work. And so I hope that everybody, you know, that listen our podcast, and then they can you know, kind of learning something. And if you have any question, you can always send us a message Underdogs on Top on YouTube, and you can of course like and share and subscribe. And is there anything else that you would like to just talk about?
No,
What-
well,
no
just thank you
messages?
both for having me, you and Earl. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, we will continue to train.
Yes.
Yeah, for the 2026. And you know, when we come to her competition time, and I guess we will invite her again, and we will talk about it one more time.
Yes.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Very good. Well, thank you, everyone. And this is Chie from Underdogs on Top, Life Beyond the Workout. And thank you for watching. See you next time.